Japan in 10,000 years of primordial water. Now a boy is going fishing, but I couldn't catch any. You learn the grizzly bear way. Jump straight into the river. After a while, I caught one too. I was glad to be back when suddenly. Your face is dark, because my whole village is on fire. Even if you call everyone's names. No one answered either. While you're suffering the loss of a loved one. Then suddenly a black hole appears in the blue sky. Even if you try to run away, but you're still sucked in by it. The 21st century. Nobita is being scolded by her mother right now, because your test always eats goose eggs. More, because I couldn't do the post and you're doodling on the back of the test. Your mother is angry and forbid you from taking a nap. Go out to play until your score improves, Nobita warmly announced to Doraemon. You're going to leave the house in the dust. That's Doraemon. Nothing to stop because I know Nobita will come back if he goes away. Nobita is angry. Tell me a plan for this dust escape. Some necessary items are food, clothing and housing. Nobita wants to borrow fashion camera backdrop and Doraemon's mobile home. After getting them. Mr. Hung-ho will start to live independently. Just got to the stairs. Then slipped down again. I heard the noise, rah. Nobita ran away and made her mad. You go to the baseball field, use the mobile home to stay. Your friends are surprised. But most of all, they're laughing. You'll last a few hours. While you're sleeping, an uncle came knocking on the house. Nobita went down and was scolded by his uncle. Dare to build a house on your land. You have to move up the hill. After school not peaceful for long. The house was broken down by a crane. When I said that the land had its owner, you can't build a house arbitrarily. You have to go back home. Doraemon lent me the magic door. Then to a small village, this time at Chayan's house, because you're working all the time. So you left the house crying. On the road again. Collapse. Sunio has a similar situation. Because she's making him learn more and more subjects all the time. While they were hugging each other and crying, Shizuka asked if they saw Nobita. If not, you leave the house. Your mother expects too much of you. It causes a lot of mental stress. At Doraemon. I'm listening to the situation over there, the magic door. Then suddenly a great current came out. By Nobita. Doraemon must close then use the piercing ring to get all the water outside. I can't believe there is no land in Japan. There is no owner. Nobita, you still want to leave the house. I brought back a hamster. Because his colleagues were traveling, he had to raise the forest. For Doraemon. This is a tragedy you can't live with. When Nobita is sad, his friends run to him. I want to be with you. If they run away, the VA must be Doraemon. You want to leave home too. Dust is so easy to say, but Japan is crowded. There's no place where they can build their own homes. Nobita thinks where no one has been. They just need to go back to Japan. There was no AI at the time. We're all in a time machine together. Start the adventure. When calculating the time, suddenly time is in chaos. If people get sucked in, there's no going back. Doraemon turn on name mode. The fire in the time machine was lucky to get through. They go back 70,000 years. We're all excited because everywhere is covered in trees. Before leaving Doraemon. Swimming chalk on the Vina time machine. Let it sink to the ground. Keep the animals away. Because the ice age has just begun. So the climate here is quite cold. I want to be able to build a garden next to the lake. Chayan and Sunio want to explore here. Sunio took out Ra's camera and wanted to take a picture of Chayan. Look at the camera. You're scared because behind you is a giant bison. It flung two people on its back wanting to kick. Doraemon runs to use a bullfighting robot to lure it away. Then you take out the primordial. The stone lance is light, but it can generate electricity to defeat the enemy. Three sons want to divide the land by Doraemon. It's because there's no competition with them now. The group flew to a cliff. I'm going to dig a cave here. Then Doraemon took out the shovel. You just need a little strength to dig. Sean will take over the construction. Shizuka will plant the flower garden on Sunio's part. It's the part that grows food here. Being alone is sad. So Nobita will use the hybrid to create animals. You fly to a river that's going to hatch your eggs here. Look at the two trees next to each other. You've come up with a great way to breed at home. I'm a little worried about Doraemon right now. And Nobita still hasn't returned. In the mountain behind the school, the primordial boy who fell from the black hole. When you see the excavator, because not knowing what it is scares you. Doraemon came to see the situation of Shizuka planting flowers. Because it is sunny without rain, it is difficult for flowers to bloom. So Doraemon took out the artificial cloud to water it. The young shoots are green again. He flew to Sunio to see it. I don't understand behind the trees when growing up for a strange tuber. Doraemon takes out the artificial sun increased light for fast ripening fruit. Nobita's side at this point, a small male egg has hatched. Surprisingly, it's a flying horse. You succeeded in creating swan and horse together. The other two eggs also hatched. The hybrid creatures. Nobita is happy that she is their mother. When Doraemon came, he hid them and lied they haven't bloomed yet. Doraemon, take out food for animals when they are ready, we will feed them. Let them eat, the sky is falling. The fruit that Sunio planted is ripe, but they're no different than normal beets. In their cave, Chien built a spacious cave. Everybody sit at the table, they complain about eating beets. New Doraemon tutorial. Just open this one. There will be different dishes inside. Very delicious. They ate so Nobita could run home hungry. You don't know how to eat and bite. It is also very delicious. At night they sat together watching SO. The scene here is very beautiful. It makes them miss home and want to come back. Sean doesn't want that. It's hard to have this freedom. Nobita advised they can come back whenever they want. Then Chien agreed, then we go home together. Nobita is a little scared because I've been walking all day. I heard the sound of your mother running up. Then call you down to eat without yelling at you. They don't know the original boy is on the roof the next day at school. We all told the story at night. I was angry because I didn't want to open the door for them. Nobita's own mother did not scold him. They would go there every day at the table. 3 hours of school. You see Doraemon are lying in tears because your donuts were eaten by the hamster. You're determined to kill Cho and run away. 3 people when they arrived did not see AI at home. If they were going to get dressed first, Shizuka. Be afraid to stop. Suddenly in Doraemon's closet. There's something hiding right now. When you're opening Upits from the inside. Angry primitive boy Lao Ra. He hit Chien in the head with a stick. Angry Chien rushed to fight Nobita and Doraemon. Downstairs I heard a running noise. I saw Chien chipped his forehead. I just knocked out the guy. Your mother is going up. So we all raced under the Kia guy into the machine. Time Nobita tried to explain what he didn't know. Shizuka looked at the boy's clothes and weapons. I guess he came from primitive times. Go to the cave, they argue. In the 2nd century, there was a man, water appearance. Doraemon remembers the chaos of the previous day. It's actually a black hole. If people get sucked in, they just die. Then tell the stories, the rumors. I don't understand why some people disappear. It's because they're sucked into the time gap. The whole group split up to find out, see if there are any villages around here. Doraemon takes out the ball. Thanks to Ethan, they can identify the time of the disturbance. Lanail Nobita found it too boring. Go back to the tree and find your children. You can't see them. There seems to be something flying around. It scares you. The animals you bred are now grown. They're happy to cuddle you. He wants you to play with him. Primitive boy, I am dreaming about my parents being burned. Then a bunch of Lao came to arrest you. When you wake up, Yang Jio, be wary of Shizuka. Because of language differences, you try to act like you're a good person. The boy fell down hungry. She took out some hot soup. You don't hesitate to eat it all. It's delicious. Sunio and Chien bathing in the river and take a longer dive. And while I was diving, something swam through the river. Make Sunio whole soul. When you look closely, it's a reptile. I told Chien to run away. The reptile also chases in the back. He was about to bite Sunio. Nobita's animals have come, then scare him away. 3 people later marry the flying animals. Open mouth, because Nobita created these species. Back to the main problem. You have investigated the boy's condition. Prehistoric times. He's in prehistoric times, near the Chinese border. After Doraemon. Give him some lollipop, they can communicate with each other. You call yourself Ku of the light race. After fishing back to the village, he was caught in a broken hole. You also said more. Your people have been captured by the darkness. No matter where they run, they can chase. They were angry because they didn't fight back. Kokuju new dark tribe has a scary Ming. That's immortal King Jiga. Friends cheer Kokuzu, tell them they won't lose to superstition. Kokuju screaming Jiga is not superstition, he has real power, but no AI. They agreed to save the light race together. In the evening Nobita came looking for Kokuju. You haven't slept yet, and you're watching for the Jiga to come here. Early the next morning Kokuju said he would go to China alone. Because the enemy is the dark race. You're afraid everyone who follows Theo will lose their lives. Doraemon takes out the bamboo pinwheel and makes the Kukuju fly. Then cut the wind. He ordered the Spirit King. It makes you fly. Kukuzu was crying and asked Doraemon to help me. And then together they ride on these 3 animals. Moving towards China. Because this is an ice age, the water will be very small. So the big 6 are usually connected without the sea. When they fly, they see the first Mount Fuji. So we landed here for lunch. Their lunch is al hamburger. The whole crowd laughed. When primitive people also like to eat hamburgers after eating. They're moving forward for a long time. It was dark. I can see the river below. That's where you fished. Everyone is bewildered when the village here has burned down. And then we built a house here. Nobita after grooming the animals and they're going to go to bed and they pull you back. Look at you cute eyes. Nobita couldn't help but sleep with them. The next morning Doraemon. Use a stick to find people. To see where the dark race went. Nobita was going to ride the children when Doraemon stopped him. Because they're so prominent, they're easy to spot. They had to leave them behind and use the bamboo pinwheel. Before they left a pile of food. But they can't leave Nobita. You have to stop them before they stay. 6 people flying forward in a mountain range. Goku discovered out around many animal bones. This time on the cliff. The chief of the tribe of light for being too weak. I can't walk anymore. The dark ones are going to beat you. The young men of the light rebelled. This time in a palanquin that's being carried in front. A voice echoing through. He ordered the dark tribe to strike. When they tried to jump, a bolt of lightning knocked him down. That lightning is from Doraemon. A dressing up as gods descend. You give orders. If anyone dares to resist, they will be punished by the gods. The people of darkness are afraid to act. Nobita and everyone above also fell. Use the lance. It makes people run away. My parents also recognized me and ran to me. Chien saw this scene and burst into tears. I thought it would end here. Then the voice from the little palanquin echoed. Then it flies out to reveal its form. It's a clay statue. He claims to be a servant of the god Jiga. Chien wants to rush to attack. Then it sends out an attack wave that blows you away. For people join forces using electricity from the lance. It doesn't scratch the earth statue. It's coming, sending out huge waves of attack. It gets everyone blown away. Doraemon always finds a suitable weapon. Lao Ra uses the superhero shawl against the whole wave that blows the statue away, make it break. Thanks to which the sky was clear again. Don't understand why an ordinary clay statue. They are intelligent and can talk. Nobita led everyone safely to. All the people of the light are on their knees. They still think Doraemon. God, thank you for saving lives. The idea was to bring everyone to Japan. Because after this maybe the people of darkness will return. Doraemon took out the magic door. First they went back to the village of the light to pick up the animals. As soon as everyone leaves. The pieces of earthenware have fused together. The group split up to find the animals, but I still can't find Chung. Nobita is like a worried mother. They're lost. Your friends advise you not to worry because they're so powerful, they won't stop. Doraemon also said that even though he was sad, but what needs to be done now? Is to bring the people of the tribe of light. Wrong version later. Thanks to the magic door they moved quickly to Japan. Everybody's got to start cutting wood and building houses. On the Doraemon side. You're worshipped as a flat-eating god. Ga Chien and Sunio run to Doraemon. Lend them tools to make it easier. You flatly refused because if you lend the treasure, history will be gone. Let them think for themselves that this is human civilization. Even more surprising. When you see these Stone Age kids, they're helping people work. Everyone is very happy. Nobita is sitting by the river. Holding an eggshell and crying. To hear the sound of joy, think they're back. But it's actually Kuzu that's coming. Kuzu sitting next to me blowing up flutes made from deer bones. You said you had a very close-knit wolf before. In the process of leaving the village they discovered a colony of mammoths. So tricked them into the swamp. In the chaos of the war the wolf of Kudu is gone. It's always not good. So every day you blow this whistle until one day. A wolf with a body full of wounds. I am right next to you. When Kuzu said animals would have intuition go back to their owners, you don't have to worry. After a day of helping people light work, everyone is tired and tense their hands. They haven't seen TV in a long time and done homework. Think about going home. But I'm afraid that if I leave for so long, I'll be yelled at. Doraemon had an idea. It's using a time machine to go back. The moment they just left was not so. Before leaving, Nobita left food. If the animals come back, give them something to eat. Somewhere in the world the Jiga is yelling at the earthenware because in order to build a castle, he needed more slaves. That guy said, the light race. Suddenly there appeared a weasel claiming to be a god. The angry Jiga asked if he was stronger. Heathen unleashed a force that smashed the earthenware. He ordered the rest of the earthenware, bring the self-proclaimed god here. Nobita just came home from school and saw your face. Doraemon are very serious. I've taken that earthenware guy's arm for research. When you smash it with a hammer it immediately heals itself. You've never seen this material. Let's ask you to investigate. So now you've called. Babe, after investigation, it was found to be a kind of memory ceramic. It can restore itself to its original form. No matter how broken it is. Doraemon asserts that Jiga is not a normal witch. Then everyone comes back. Prehistory is too late. The entire village is now in ruins. And then there's this huge image of Jiga. He said he took all the slaves. If you want him to release you, then come to the palace to face it. He flew the lance. The Jiga image has disappeared. That's the shadow that transmits the news. Doraemon uses the magic doorway we use to fight the darkness. Now people aren't afraid because Kokudu is their friend. But they don't know where the hell is. It's also strange that Jiga can come to Japan in a day, shoot the people. They're flying through the snowy mountains, it's freezing, the bamboo also overheats due to moving too long and stopping. Take out the super speed train game wires to move. Everyone's shy because this is a kindergarten game. When Doraemon releases the switch, it runs with him. It's up to several hundred kilometers per hour. Running through the pines, they still have to run around. At night the snowstorm came, they can't move anymore. The group just went to a cave. If they think they will escape, they will realize I can't see Nobita. Look around and see nothing. Chien wants to run to find. It was Doraemon. Stop because you may be in danger. Doraemon can only use a water bottle to save Nobita's life. It's cold in the middle of the storm. In the snow, he saw the illusion of his father warming up. Then there's the illusion that she's eating noodles, crying down, tired and falling down. Self-illusion. You're going to blame no one. Then you won't be able to do anything. Then I told you to sleep. Nobita knows that if you sleep, you won't wake up. The rescue vase is rushing to Nobita was broken by the earthenware statue. Everyone in the cave is worried. Then they found out there are steps. Everything is inside, Jiga observed through cane. After the snowstorm passed, Nobita woke up cold. He shivered, blowing the whistle that Kukuzu gave Cho. When you fall from the sky, your children have flown in. Along the stone steps to realize. Deep inside. That's where the slaves are working. They also saw that Kukuzu was being tortured. Doraemon uses a clock to stop time, make everything stop. And then use the piercing circle to find your way to the ground. You swing in the circle. I accidentally got lost in a control room. It's very modern. I don't understand why in the Stone Age. There's these machines in front of the Jiga that came out. You're worried about stopping time. That guy can still move. He allowed the time to stop, which he broke. Doraemon understood that he was the future. I went back to the Stone Age because I wanted to change history. He also agreed and considered himself a god. Outside. 3 friends were also surrounded by the darkness. He warned the police that time will not spare him. But he wasn't worried about building this base. And then reveal the hyperspace device. With it, he can create time-lapse holes. And not be discovered by the time police. He decided not to let him achieve his goal of being king. You use the lance to attack, but he was beaten by the Jiga's lance. It turns out that his lance is a 2nd century weapon. BA of Doraemon. It's the 2nd century. Nobita woke up and saw the children. They're here to save you. Then you fly out looking for people, but I can't see it. I in the cave, you're tied up. The front on the Jiga dropped me. It scared 4 people. When it comes to bite Nobita and his children flew the leopard. He called the people of the light race to protest. Kukuju has untied Cho Doraemon with everyone. Thanks to Nobita's animals that the light race is gaining the upper hand. Name Jiga for the statues to follow you. Doraemon take out the glue gun, shoot the statues all over the wall. The Jiga fled to the throne. He entered a line of code. Behind a gate opened. When Nobita and Doraemon chased him to stop 2 elephant statues. And the Jiga inside. Want to use a space-destroying device. The resources are starting to gather outside. Kokudu said if you fight with Wavi, got to lure them into the swamp. Nobita immediately remembered Ra told Doraemon to use swimming chalk. They sprinkled chalk on 2 elephant statues. Caused them to sink to the ground. When you enter the door, the device is activated. Doraemon told him to stop. If we destroy hyperspace, this world will also disappear. Jiga still don't care. That goes on. Kokudu didn't think of anything, rushed to the Sphereus gathering energy. Then he climbed up and tried to break it. Energy suction needle. The Jiga wanted to attack, but Chien and Seko shot him down. The Kokuju stick successfully broke Kim's nose. Doraemon launches his lance at the Jiga. He uses power. I don't know why the lance didn't break. The lance is not a treasure. It's a real prehistoric lance. Thena Space Police boat has arrived. Doraemon called the police to arrest Jiga. Not long after, the base exploded. Nobita returned the whistle Kukuju because it saved your life. 2 people holding hands symbolizes friendship. The police officer went to ask Nobita. Is it the mother of these 3 animals? There's no sad news to tell you. You have to take them to the Dreamland Zoo. Because in fact these animals are not allowed to exist. Nobita didn't want to cry because he was their mother. People come to comfort because it's the only way they can live. You have to accept this. Go to the police officer and tell them how to eat. It's better to brush them. Every night. He was crying and everyone around him was crying too. When the plane flew away, the animals I can only run after you. I promise to visit them later.